Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's me again, Golden Blue Dude. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. I do college football videos every single day. What in the world is going on in the SEC? Gary Patterson, the coach of TCU, spoke at an NIL event that was being held in Fort Worth, Texas. And he said some things that really made me raise my eyebrows. He said that SEC schools are trying to get players to transfer from non-SEC schools with the promise of compensation. What? Apparently, SEC schools are calling players from schools that are outside of the SEC, trying to get them to transfer to schools that are inside of the SEC with the promise of monetary compensation. Gary Patterson said that if TCU can't counter these offers in some way, they could lose 25 to 30 players to the transfer portal by the end of this year. This isn't over a stretch of 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. That's the end of this year. Every state, every conference, and every team needs to make these NIL deals and the availability of them a priority right now. This has turned into an all-out financial war. I mean, does this mean that passing the NIL deal, nothing is considered cheating? Everything goes. You can offer money to players from other teams to say, hey, come on over here. We can offer you more money over here. So it's a battle of just who has the most money. I mean, that's straight up not fair. I get it. College football has been about money, especially the past 20 years. And the more you make, the more success you're going to have. The more you can pay your coaches. So that means you can have the best coaches. But now it's going down to the players. Whoever has the most money can have the best players. That's pretty much the NFL. Are we going to have to come up with a salary cap just like the NFL? What's going on? I knew that the NIL would change some things, but I didn't realize it would change it this much. This proves that it definitely benefits the SEC the most. Why? Because the SEC has the most money. All the other conferences have got to find a way to make more money to bridge that gap. And it's going to be super difficult because ESPN and the SEC are in bed together. And ESPN and Disney have a ton of money. And you throw ABC in there, a ton of money. How do you beat that? I don't really know, but you better figure out something. Maybe that's one of the reasons why Oklahoma and Texas jumped into the SEC. Maybe they saw something like this coming. Because if you think about it, they didn't even wait. They didn't tell the Big 12 and wait for a counter offer. No, they were like, nope, we're going to the SEC. They'd been talking for 6 months. Didn't tell the Big 12. Didn't give them a chance to counter offer. So it would make sense that they knew something like this was happening. That it didn't matter how much money the Big 12 was going to counter with. Because the SEC would have the most money and would be able to get the best players. And if Texas and Oklahoma stayed in the Big 12, they wouldn't be able to get the best players. And even if they could get them initially, it wouldn't matter because SEC schools can bribe them away. And that's why they chose the SEC so rapidly. Doesn't matter how good your brand is. You're not in the SEC, you don't have more money. This is a very slippery slope, guys. I know fans like myself whose team is not in the SEC. We're like, man, the SEC, they're like spoiled brats and they're always bragging how they have the most money and the most national championships and this and that. And the SEC fans counter by saying, SEC, SEC, SEC. So it's kind of turned into a rivalry, but this is more than just a rivalry. This is a downright unfair advantage. How do we even the playing field? Because right now the playing field is definitely uneven. And this is why conference realignment is definitely not done. Even for the SEC, because think about it. If the SEC can bribe players away, and your Clemsons, your Michigans, your Ohio States, your USCs, all these other great brands that aren't in the SEC are losing players because the SEC can bribe them, what are they going to do? They're going to want to jump to the SEC. So these rumors that the SEC might be interested in a Clemson, a Florida State, a Penn State, Ohio State, a Michigan, a USC, whoever else it may be, you better take it serious because apparently they have the ability to bribe players away. And if they start bribing players away from these higher names are like, screw it, we're going to join the SEC. So we better take these rumors seriously. I'm not saying it's happening or that it's actually going to happen. I'm just saying it definitely could happen. That's all I got for you for this show. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on my next show.